Welcome to FRC Media News for Thursday, August 26th, 2021. I'm Keith Tebow. We speak with leaders at local schools as most prepare to open next week. The city breaks ground on its project to develop the City Pier, and City Councilor Cliff Ponte lays out his plans for his first 100 days if elected mayor. All this and more coming up. We start with the latest on the COVID-19 pandemic in Fall River. The Fall River Board of Health issued an advisory this week following the recommendations of the CDC in strongly encouraging everyone wear masks indoors regardless of vaccination status. Also, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education Commissioner Jeffrey Riley has issued a mask mandate for all K-12 schools. Fall River schools will be instituting the mandate when classes begin next week. The mandate will run until October 1st, then re-evaluated. Here are the local case and vaccination numbers as of last Thursday, August 19th. There were 155 new cases of COVID-19 in the city last week, up from 166 the week prior. 14,883 cases have been confirmed since the onset of the pandemic. On the vaccine front, 48,885 city residents, or 55%, have received at least one dose of the vaccine, with 49%, or 43,837 residents, fully vaccinated. An update on both cases and vaccinations is expected later today. The easiest way to find out where to get the vaccine in Fall River is through the city's vaccination webpage at frvax.com. Or you can call 833-8VAX-NOW or 833-882-9669. You can also visit the state's website at vaxfinder.mass.gov. You can also find out information by dialing 211. We continue our look at how local schools are preparing for the new year. The students and staff at Diamond Regional Vocational Technical High School are expected to come back to full-time in-person classes beginning next Wednesday, September 1st. Last year, Diamond implemented a hybrid model of learning, inviting students in person for their vocational studies while remaining remote for their academic classes. Assistant Superintendent and Principal Andrew Ribello says prepping the school last year to deal with COVID-19 has taught them how to manage the full return of students and staff this fall.
We are going to be using some of the same line of thinking with trying to take precautionary measures across the board as far as hand sanitizing and hand hygiene protocols, mask protocols. And we learned a lot of that as we went through last year because we had to develop it for the vocational side because we brought those kids in on day one. And as we went and continued to bring more and more students back, especially on the academic side, we're able to use some of those protocols to mimic both. So, looking back at last year, we definitely learned a lot, and we are going to be able to use some of the things that were successful to us. And that's what we do every year. So there's nothing different as far as tweaking and consistently looking and consistently making sure we're providing the best education possible.
Ribello says while students were learning remotely, instances arose where learning outcomes were not fully met. He says the school is looking to get all students back on track.
There has been a tremendous amount of work that our educators have put in to identify where learning loss has happened, what curriculum was missed the past year. In the first question, I addressed that education's been upended. So we're not sitting back and waiting for it to come up to us. At the end of last year, we gave a diagnostic test to all of our students to see what was missed, where we need to accelerate learning. So we're going to go into this new school year with a lot of data on each student on what they missed academically, what they missed vocationally, reteaching what we have to, and then pushing forward. Think about it. Kids were hybrid. That education model doesn't work for everyone. We're going to have students back in the building this year, and we'll really be able to accelerate all students' learning.
Ribello says he's looking forward to interacting with students both academically and through extracurricular activities. They're also expanding their curriculum to include courses that will get students, quote, life ready.
Every student will take a financial literacy course in grade 12, right? So I think that one thing that to stay in the motto of that life ready platform is getting them ready to take on the financial burdens that come with life. There's going to be a financial literacy course for every senior before they leave high school, and that's something that we hope to continue going forward. We'll still have our CAP program that's with Bristol Community College, so students are able to take classes their junior and senior year over at BCC and replace a few courses here. So there's a many things, especially on the academic side, that will be new and exciting for students to try out, but I'm very excited about those two.
Diamond is also moving forward on its plans to build a new school at its Stonehaven Road location. Bishop Connolly High School opens its doors to students also next Wednesday, September 1st, with an eye toward safely expanding opportunities for students inside and outside the classroom. Last year, Bishop Connolly also employed a hybrid model of in-person and remote learning, rotating between 2 classes studying at its campus on Ellsbury Street, while the other 2 learning remotely. Principal Kathleen St. Laurent says as it begins its new year, everyone will be back in person following state health protocols.
We really want to be sure our families are very comfortable, that they feel they're well informed. Last year, we hosted a monthly Zoom meetings that were very well attended, just to keep our families updated on the happenings at our school and our health and safety protocols. This year, I've already been in touch with all of our families to let them know what the status is at the moment. I'll be sending out another communication right before the start of school with any updates. And as I say, our parents and our kids, are wonderful. Everyone complied fully last year, as they will again coming into a new school year.
As the school looks ahead to the new year, a focus will be to expand educational opportunities for students, primarily in the areas of science, technology, engineering, and math.
At the end of last year, we did an engineering design project, our entire school, during the last week of school. We had partners from UMass Dartmouth. We had individuals from the environmental office in Massachusetts working with us to create a real-life engineering design project right here on the grounds of Bishop Connolly. And we're going to continue that in the upcoming year. And our kids were so excited, and so were the individuals, professionals in the community, who were pretty much amazed at the level of engagement and energy during the last week of school. We're also partnering with Stonehill College for a dual enrollment program. Our students actively participated in that last year, and we're looking forward to them actually receiving college credit while they're here in high school. And also we'll be working with our 5 elementary schools in the Diocese of Fall River in a dual enrollment program of Algebra 1. So students at our sister schools here in the Diocese of Fall River will actually be able to receive a credit from Bishop Connolly High School for Algebra 1.
Bishop Connolly is also looking forward to offering students a broad range of extracurricular activities.
This year, as we speak, unless anything changes, we're full steam ahead for all of our athletics. Our football practices begin on August 23rd. We'll be rolling into the fall season. And so we'll have a full range of athletics this year. Also, we are really pleased to welcome a new theater director to Bishop Connolly. She'll be working with us in an after-school program for theater, as well as we'll be doing a chorus program after school. And all of the great other things that we do, student council, our debate team. A lot of things were done virtually last year, but we're looking forward to being able to have as many things as possible in person this year.
The Argosy Collegiate Charter School began classes this week, building upon its mission of helping students gain a leg up on a college education. The school, which serves children in grades 6 through 12, decided that all students and staff will be required to wear masks before consideration by the state. Executive Director Christian Pavo says the mandate has not generated much negative feedback.
No one is excited to have their kids in masks, and even like we're in teacher professional development this weekend. So every year we start off professional development, and I tell the story about Argosy Collegiate and my Building Excellent Schools Fellowship and how Argosy Collegiate came to be. Everything from how we get our name to the mission and the vision of the school and why we're in the south side of the city, renovations of our buildings that once were school buildings. And I tell that story, and it's hard speak publicly with a mask on. And so that's difficult for me, it's difficult for teachers, it's difficult for the scholars, but it unfortunately is just the challenge that we all have to manage. And I think that it is better to be in school with a mask than for scholars to be at home learning from teachers remotely. So it is the best that we can do in a challenging situation.
The school has expanded each year since it began in 2014 and celebrated its first high school graduating class this spring. Pavo says the focus of Argosy Collegiate is its dual enrollment program, introducing scholars to college-level courses and earning college credit. Those dual enrollment opportunities will expand this year.
We're adding aviation dual enrollment courses to our program. We're very excited about that. So scholars can take courses in piloting helicopters, planes, drones. They can take aviation mechanics, aviation electronics. We're building a culinary arts program. We're building a culinary arts lab that should be open this time next year. Culinary arts is just a great career path. And dual enrollment is an opportunity not just for top performing scholars, as it is in most schools. It tends to be for the highest achieving students in a school. And for us, it's dual enrollment is for everyone. So our scholars take dual enrollment in foreign language. They take it in art classes as graduation requirements. So they not only get the high school graduation credit for the state of Massachusetts, but they also get the dual enrollment credits. And that's free of charge. And what's awesome about our program is the college professors come to Argosy Collegiate and they teach the courses on our campus. When the scholars become seniors, if they're taking a full course load of dual enrollment college level classes, early college classes, they take those courses on the BCC campus.
Students and teachers are looking forward to returning to as normal a learning environment as possible, including co-curricular opportunities.
The great fun of teaching is being with scholars. That's the magic. That's the sweet stuff. That's what we all love. You develop those relationships. You build the community. It's not just about the classes and the courses that you take. That's all great and lovely. It's also about the other great stuff like clubs and activities and athletics. And we're so excited. Before we closed, we had a phenomenal soccer season and a great basketball season. And, we're engaged in rowing with the Watuppa Rowing Center. And that's such a great opportunity for middle school and high school students to row. And they can actually row, at the college level and get scholarships through those experiences. So those are the experiences that we really want to engage with the scholars. Yes, it's about really great education and great courses, but it's also about trying to figure out what scholars might want to do with their lives and to help build career interests.
Classes will begin Monday at the Atlantis Charter School in the city's South End. Executive Director Robert Beatty says the new facility housing the 1,300 K-12 students quickly became obsolete when COVID struck, forcing high school students to be relocated. He says the answer is the construction of an additional 20,000 square feet of classroom space.
We could not space kids even 3 feet apart when that requirement came in last year. And we wound up renting some additional space downtown to be able to accommodate some of our high school kids. So we initiated this project in the event that we would ever have to space kids out again. And then the longer term purpose for the project was we saw last year kids coming back, again, as I alluded to before, with really a variety of needs, whether it was social and emotional support for kids who really struggled emotionally over the course of being home, remote learning, academic support. So we knew that long term we needed additional classroom space to attend to those needs. We have class sizes that can range from 23, 24 kids to 28, 29 kids. And if you have kids coming back at all levels of ability, it's really difficult to attend to all of that in one classroom, even if there are 4 or 5 teachers in that classroom trying to get around to all the students. So the thing that we learned is that there were that we needed additional space and we needed ways to attend to all the needs of kids who are coming back.
Beatty says when students return, they will be faced with expanded academic offerings.
We've committed some resources towards expanding our arts and electives programming, and so that's great to see. That was something that, as we moved into our new campus, there was limited space and limited resources to have a really robust and comprehensive arts program, and so we've hired some additional staff. We've been able to find some additional space and additional resources to be able to expand those offerings. We continue to expand our Career Academy program. So again, that's a program where our high school students, and we'll expand some of these offerings down to middle school over time. But in particular, our high school students, just in the first year of high school, get access to or exposure to a number of career pathways, and these aren't narrowly focused. These are broad career pathways that kids might have an interest in as they leave high school, and then as they progress in their high school year, they have an opportunity to specialize in one of those pathways.
As with the other schools we've spoken to, Atlantis is looking forward to welcoming all students back to in-person learning.
There is a lot of excitement around that. There's a lot of excitement around among our parents. I've spoken to a handful around getting back to normal, and even for some of our parents, and for me personally, just getting kids back into school and beginning to alleviate some of the disruption to family work life, right? I'm a parent of 3 young kids, and it was tough on me over the course of the last 18 months, and my wife, to balance work and restrictions on schooling. So I've talked to some of our parents about sort of similar feelings, right, of being able to get kids back onto a regular schedule, having less of a disruption for parents that need to go to work. So people are really excited, eager in some cases to get back to life as normal as much as we hopefully can.
Following a process that took over 20 years, the city of Fall River has broken ground on its development plans for the City Pier on the waterfront. The project overcame environmental and financial obstacles, and within the next year will provide more waterfront open space for community events.
This has been a long time project. We all remember when there was a bar out on the end of it, and that's all that was down here for the longest time. And finally, to have this turn into a place where families can take a walk. I know Pat Norton's got his eye on having Woodstock 3 out here. And we're gonna turn this into a place where people want to come, they want to spend some time, they want to enjoy the water view, and it's going to be an integral part of our waterfront from Mike Lund's property all the way up to the Commonwealth Landing.
Lieutenant Governor Karen Polito was on hand for the groundbreaking and pointed out that the project will open up much-needed economic development opportunities for the city.
Why is this important? It's not just about the City Pier. It's about your vision for your waterfront, which is a unique asset that you have here in this great city. And the idea that you can connect the beautiful Memorial Park, where Joe and your team have spent enormous time adding memorials to, and most recently the Vietnam Memorial, which is so beautiful. And then to be able to walk 2 miles down to the marina there and back, a 4-mile excursion, is a wonderful place to be. The other piece that's also very important, and Ken and Representative Fiola and the city have been dogged about, is Route 79. And the vision there to take this stretch of highway and depress it, literally make it level with this part of the waterfront, will then not open up access only this way, but also to your city at multiple gateways.
The preliminary election for mayor is a little over 3 weeks away, and City Council President Cliff Ponte is beginning to lay out his plans for office if elected. During a press briefing this week, Ponte laid out how he plans to govern if elected during the first 100 days in office, with a focus on fiscal responsibility.
I will first have a complete audit and performance audit by an outside firm for several departments. Not like the $30,000 waste of money we spent on the last performance audit in the police department while we're looking for true ways to save taxpayer money. Then and only then will the citizens of Fall River and I as your mayor know exactly where we stand financially. While that audit is being conducted, we will review every department, starting with the department head and the table of organization, to look for areas of improved efficiency, service, and cost reduction. We will immediately review all revenue sources and user fees to identify new revenues.
Ponte accused Mayor Paul Coogan of having no plan when it comes to city finances and cautioned voters the mayor may begin collecting more taxes as soon as this fall to pay for the new BMC Durfee High School. Among the other initiatives for his first 100 days will be to improve police presence on city streets and making changes to reform local schools.
I will immediately begin working with our school committee and superintendent to get our school system back on track. Work on a plan to make sure we have resources in our classrooms. Currently today, our schools have seen a steady decline and are in the top 10 of the most underperforming schools when it comes to achievement and student growth. That's a major problem. That is a major problem.
We'll have more FRC Media News right after this.
The COVID vaccine is a critical tool to protect yourself and in the pandemic.
But you might have questions about its safety.
The same safety measures used for all vaccines were used for the COVID vaccine.
Tens of thousands participated in vaccine trials to prove it's safe.
Since then, millions of people of all races and ethnicities have gotten the vaccine and experienced only mild side effects.
I got the vaccine to protect myself, my family, and my patients.
When it's your turn, trust the facts. Get the vax.
Here are some job descriptions on the latest hot jobs list from the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center. Medical Assistant, Rheumatology. South Coast Health System, located at 300 Hanover Street, is in need of a full-time medical assistant, rheumatology, to perform a variety of medical assisting duties, both within and in support of the assigned medical offices within South Coast Physicians Group. Job number 153-59871. Warehouse Associate. Anderson Windows, located at 16 Current Road, is looking for a full-time warehouse associate, responsible to receive inbound material, stock shelves, and pick and load outbound customer orders. Job number 153-09887. Cybersecurity Compliance Engineer. Innovative Defense Technologies, located at 10 North Main Street, is looking for a full-time cybersecurity compliance engineer to be part of a team whose responsibilities include ensuring compliance with government security requirements pertaining to computer systems processing classified information across the company. Job number 153-30147. Liberty Utilities, located at 36 Fifth Street, has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Manager, Gas Operations, job number 153-23345. Foreman, Construction and Maintenance, job number 153-40754. Advance Auto Parts, located at 361 Quarry Street, also has an immediate need for the following full and part-time positions. Salesperson, job number 153-63187. Retail Parts Pro, job number 153-43160. For more information on these or other positions, visit Mass Hire JobQuest at jobquest.dcs.eol.mass.gov or call the Mass Hire Fall River Career Center at 508-730-5000.
Welcome back. Fall River's unemployment rate ticked up slightly in July. Data released this week from the Executive Office of Labor and Workforce Development shows the city's rate at 8.3%, up from 8.2% in June. Other cities and towns in our region also saw a slight increase. The state unemployment rate was unchanged at 4.9%. Bristol Community College this week celebrated its new home in Taunton. The center will be located at the former Coyle Cassidy High School.
We are opening seven general purpose classrooms, 2 computer labs, as well as a high-tech biology and chemistry lab. And our student support services include academic advising, transfer counseling, Office of Disability Services, an enrollment center, as well as career and mental health counseling. The Library Learning Commons is on the 3rd floor and will serve as Bristol's central hub for tutoring and learning support. Bristol Community College has had a long-standing presence in the Taunton community, and we look forward to further enhancing access to critical educational opportunities.
We'll wrap up FRC Media News right after this.
Hi, welcome to Hot Dogs and Cool Cats. Today with us we have Brody. So Brody is a 2-year-old Chihuahua. He was an owner's surrender. It was no fault of his own. He wouldn't do well in a home with kids. When you first meet Brody, you have to have patience. When he first meets you, he does get growly. Once he knows that you're okay, he does warm up to you very, very quickly. He is very sweet and affectionate. He wouldn't do well in a home with cats. He does do well with other small dogs. He loves to go for walks. He's an active little man. So if you want to come down and meet Brody, you can give us a call at Forever Paws Animal Shelter to come make an appointment to meet him. So come down and meet Brody. He'd love to meet you.
Today we have Maud. Maud is an older calico. She's about 9-10, in that range. She's a little bit of a special case. She came to us as a stray. Oh, you can tell she's a little bit of a talker. She came to us as a stray cat. She was in very rough shape actually when she came to us. She was absolutely skin and bones. She was missing quite a lot of her hair. She basically needs the kind of home that nice and quiet for. Other cats aren't necessarily a no, but highly energetic cats we found, she gets a little nervous around them. Despite the condition that she came in, I mean, she's still pretty spry. She still moves around, as you can tell. She just needs a little bit of a special home. So if you think your home is that one, we would love to have you come down. You can come to 300 Linwood Street in Fall River, Massachusetts at Forever Paws Animal Shelter.
La vacuna contra el COVID es una herramienta muy importante para protegerse y terminar con la pandemia.
Pero tal vez tenga preguntas sobre su seguridad.
Para la vacuna contra el COVID se siguieron las mismas medidas utilizadas en todas las vacunas.
Miles de personas participaron para demostrar que la vacuna es segura.
Millones de personas de diferentes razas y etnias han recibido sus vacunas y solo han experimentado efectos secundarios leves.
Yo me vacuné para protegerme a mí, a mi familia y a mis pacientes.
Cuando le toque a usted, confíe en las pruebas. Vacúnese.
That's all for this edition of FRC Media News. Please follow our website at frmedia.org for all the latest news and information. FRC Media News airs Thursdays at 6 p.m. and Fridays at 5:30 p.m. For all of us here at FRC Media News, I'm Keith Tebow. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll see you next week.